Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a hot minute. Today I'm joined with the dogs, Peanut, Nova and Billy over there. They are my emotional support dogs today because I haven't filmed, like I said, in a hot minute, and this one is a bit different. Well, it's not that different, but I just feel a bit more vulnerable sharing what I'm about to share. So I think that I might have ADHD, and I'm gonna try and get a diagnosis and I'm gonna share with you the journey that I go through. I live in the UK, so this is UK relevant and all any of the, this is just my experience. So I thought I would just start off the video by just sharing why I think I have ADHD and sort of the symptoms that I've researched that kind of fit with me. I have written some notes. I've got some on my phone and I've got some on a notepad because I have got a call with the GP to start the ball rolling, basically. So the way I'm going to do it is hopefully choose the right to choose thing on the NHS, because private can cost like thousands of pounds, and yeah, it's quicker, but I don't have that cash. And to be honest, I've waited 27 years for a diagnosis, or I might not have it. So like disclaimer, I might not have it, but like everything I've read, um, like we've got books and books on it. Like here's just one here. They're by doctors and stuff. So, oh, sorry, I think I scared them. Yeah, so they're by doctors and have done loads of research, and yeah, I think I do, but obviously I won't know for sure until I go through the diagnostic journey. So yeah, I've got a call on the 2nd of December with the GP, and I guess that will just be kind of saying like why I think it, and then I can choose my right to choose provider and get it done that way. And I will do separate videos after each a call or appointment, whatever you like to say, and yeah, just share it really. So, for those of you who don't know, ADHD is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, but it in my opinion, I think the hyperactivity side of things, especially in women, goes well, it's different. It can be like different between childhood and adulthood that I've read of, that I've heard. So when I think of hyperactivity, like it could be like bouncing off the walls, crazy, like a naughty child or whatever. But what I have researched and seemed to be true for me is the hyperactivity side of things for an ADHD woman is like overthinking. And that is so true for me. I can't even explain. Like, my mind is never, ever like silent. And even if I meditate, like, I know meditation is like a practice and whatever, but yeah, it is constantly going, like, constantly going. And I've heard this like thing of people describing it as having like multiple computer tabs open at once, and that's quite accurate actually, I think. And yeah, so I don't really know how to structure this video properly apart from like I've got my notes down here. So if I am looking down here, it's just because I've got my notes here. Yeah, so where to start? Let's just have a look at the ones I've put on my phone. And these are in no particular order, and these notes are like from ages ago. So, but then I've got an updated sort of version that I've kind of looked at the diagnostic criteria against and put my own examples and experiences onto. So I'll just quickly just ramble off these, and yeah. So I'm nervous because like this is vulnerable, and you know I don't want people to come for me and say like you definitely don't have it or you shouldn't be self-diagnosing, but I've seen loads of other people do this, and I just think if I do have it and I've shared my experience, then other people that have similar symptoms will know, will have a bit more of an inkling of what route to go down if they want to get diagnosed, or if they thought, whatever. And if I don't have it, then these symptoms like need checking out some way or another. So even if it's not ADHD, then I can then look elsewhere for answers, because I really do want answers for myself. I think that would give myself sort of like permission to relax a bit more about why certain things are more difficult for me, or why I get frustrated in this situation, or whatever. So yeah, I guess that's disclaimer out the way. Okay, there are quite a few, so get a cup of tea or whatever, and buckle in. Okay. So my attention span my attention span is quite small, like quite short. Especially like films that I just don't really know much about. Like if we go to the cinema and Nathan wants to watch a film, like, and it's 3 hours, most often like a Marvel film or something, I'm just like, oh my God. For one, I've got to sit in that chair for that amount of time and be physically uncomfortable, because I struggle with that, and that's a whole separate issue. But yeah, and then like I do constantly fidget as well, so that kind of goes hand in hand, like as to why I'm like, God, this is torture for me. Even if I enjoy the film, like just sitting down and having it be like 3 hours long. Yeah, I don't watch many films actually. I love watching series. I can binge watch series, but I think that's because there's suspenses build up, and then I'm like, oh my God, then I'm hooked, and then the next one. But yeah, so yeah, my attention span is quite small, and especially if like tasks are quite boring and require like a lot of effort to begin with. Just trying to see if I can. Oh yeah, for example, reading a book, right? um, this is a real life example here, right? So I've got this book, the one of the Sarah J. Marsh ones. So the first book of this series was quite small, and I had seen it like hyped everywhere, and I was just like, you know what? They sound good. Why not? Let's try it. Like I was trying to find a hobby to fill my time, because like if I don't fill my time, then I'll hear my brain more. Like, yeah. So, and we were house sitting at the time, and I just I think we were there for like 3 weeks, and I just read the book. And one of the nights I set myself like a challenge to read the rest of the book that I had remaining. And I literally sat in this chair, but this has gone off tangent, but it's still relevant to the why I think I might have ADHD, because one, me going off on a tangent, like my mind flitters or whatever. Two, it's the opposite to what I'm saying, very very little attention span, because I can also hyperfixate on something. So for example, this reading a book. So I sat in this chair for like 3 hours reading this book, and I don't find reading easy anyway, just because I have dyslexia as well. So yeah, so that was that. But because I'd set myself a challenge, Nathan knew about it. It was like the first book that I'd read in like years, honestly, and I was actually enjoying the story. So yeah, anyway, read it really fast, and I was like, oh my God, this is it. I'm gonna be a reader. I'm gonna be on the hype. I'm gonna be on the bandwagon. I'm gonna be able to like relate to what people are saying on TikTok about it and stuff, which is, whatever. But yeah, so that was honestly November last year. And I bought the second book, and this is how much I've read of it. The small part. in a year. And yeah, I just must have lost interest. And because also because it's bigger, it's more intimidating. Two, like the story's a bit slower to begin with, in my opinion. And yeah, and just life stuff as well. But like I've heard people say that like this is another thing, like starting tasks and not finishing it. That's literally another symptom that I've researched of ADHD. So yeah, this is gonna be a long video because that was like 2 symptoms and it's taken 10 minutes. So what else? Oh yeah, tax return. Ugh, that was painful. And the only reason why I have done it now is because it's like due in like 90 days, and the stress of it being late and it being like a government thing and like an official thing really pushed me to do it. But that's been needing to be done for ages. I got the notification saying like you like yeah, you need to submit the thing and it's due by December or whatever, and it's now like November. So I was just like, I want to be like, I wanted to get that done for ages and ages and ages. And it's not that I'd forgotten about it. It was just causing me stress in my mind. So I wasn't doing it. And it was also, it was my first ever one that I've ever done. And yeah, scary. Paperwork, adult life, adult admin, as they say, life admin, as they say, is the worst. And just jumping off of this, when I was younger in school and that, and even when I was at like uni and doing my counselling course, so we had coursework obviously and homework and stuff. Let me tell you, and revision in exam time, oh, let me tell you, when I say the night before all the time, that's how it was. There would be like the odd time I'm like, oh, I remember thinking in my head, right, if I just start now and do a little bit each day until it's due, then it's not going to be this one massive overwhelming task. I would do that for one day and then I'd get completely bored of it, and yeah, last uh the night before, always. Right, let's see what else is on here. So I think I've also just on the back of hyperfix, I think it's probably a good idea that I don't go through everything because this is 15 minutes long already and there's not that many cuts to be made in the editing process because I can talk a lot, and I want to say last one too, but I don't know. Yeah, so okay, yeah. Right, masking. I want to just touch on that really quickly. So, for those of you who don't know what masking is, it's kind of like, you know, you put on a mask and you pretend to be or behave differently to how you were feeling, I guess. So I would definitely do that. I definitely do that. I sort of mimic other people's behaviors and the humor in the room. Like if I go into the room and I don't really know anyone, then I will yeah, like mimic other people's behavior, because I should probably mention that like I I'm convinced that I have neurodiversity. Whether that's just ADHD or not is something else I'm trying to figure out. I can get overstimulated very, very quickly and intensely, and especially like lights, like sensory stuff, lights, sounds, touch. Like if I've got a label in my jumper or whatever and it's scratchy, I will not be able to be comfortable or want to not get it out. Like, yeah, light is what another one. Like, that's just intense. Like, it just makes me really angry sometimes. Like, even sat in front of this window now, like, it's a bright day and I'm a bit like, I'm gonna be fried after this. Noise when where is she? When she barks, oh my god. Oh my god. I want to scream as well. It is so annoying. But also noise in like shopping, like when I'm out shopping and in like crowds and stuff, like, and if they're playing music and the lights are harsh anyway, I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna explode, get me out of here now. Um yeah, yeah, it makes me stressed and uncomfortable basically. Okay. I also struggle with eye contact, which is difficult for me in like job interviews or if I'm talking to new people and I want to make a good impression, then it is quite difficult for me to maintain eye contact. Like, it's like one of the first things you learn in school, whatever, when they're talking about job interviews, you shake their hand and make eye contact. And I'm like, hell, that is hell. Okay. I'm gonna move on to what I've written in my notebook instead because this was a while ago. I'll go back to that. Oh, another thing that I've just thought of is like how I kind of need structure, but I hate structure. I will avoid it or routine or whatever. Like, my brain obviously needs that, but I also get bored of that. So yeah, so I've written loads of things down because these are the sort of things that I want to say to the doctor because they're kind of um examples from the diagnostic criteria for ADHD in adults. So I'm just gonna read it. I'm just gonna read it. Okay, so I've got Beth's ADHD symptoms. There we go. Inattentive, so easily distracted by noise, people talking. Like if I'm in a cafe, I can like listen to everything at once, and it's so annoying and distracting, and it kind of makes me feel like I've had too much caffeine and I'm gonna explode and like no one else talk to me because um okay, yeah. And if I'm in the middle of doing a task and someone talks to me, then it'll be about 20 minutes before I remember that I've started that task. Like the classic, I leave my cups of coffee, like they're going cold on the side, and yeah, it's just because I've forgotten about it. Or you go into a room and something like one of these starts moving and I'm like, oh doggy, and then I'm like, okay, what was I in here for? But that's like every day, so it's not oft it's not very it is very often is what I'm trying to say. And forget what I'm doing. And I think that's I think that's evident in how I talk as well and have conversations. And especially if I'm comfortable with you or a few of my closest friends, then my brain is let wild then. And God knows we could start talking about fish and chips to begin with and end on birds. I don't or like how the universe exists or some like yeah, crazy. So, um, okay, yeah, I find it hard to focus on tasks and complete them, especially if I find them boring, i.e., tax return, reading a book, tidying my room. I am so messy. Let me tell you, 5 minutes before well, immediately before I started filming, my room was a mess, and it still kind of is. I've got stuff down here, and I've hidden stuff in the bathroom because oh, and there's also stuff down there. So yeah, it takes like I get really really messy. Then it like bothers me and Nathan, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I need to clean this up. And then I clean it up and it lasts like a couple of days, and then the cycle repeats, because it just gets so overwhelming, and I find it like, well, I find the thought of it boring, and then when I'm doing it, it is boring, depends how much mess I've made. Okay, so yeah, when given instructions, I have to ask a million questions and make sure things are like clear in my mind. And I'm quite a visual person, so I want to like visualize steps of how to do it, and I prefer like written or like image instructions. I find those easier. Okay, yeah, so I can like skip corners when doing activities like cleaning. For example, like it wouldn't have taken me like much more effort to just like put this pillow where it needs to go, or those clothes in front of, like, or the things I've just shoved in the bathroom. Like, that's not just because of this video, like I would have done that anyway, just to kind of like fake being clean. Like, I'm just like, right, I'm done with it now, to be honest. Like, this is somewhat tidy, what more do you want from me? Yeah, so yeah, skipping corners, cleaning or filling out forms just because I want it done ASAP. So I'm trying to get a Christmas temp job, and the forms, because I'm looking at like retail, I think it would be torturous, but that's where the money's at, and I need a new car. But anyway, filling out the forms for it, I'm just like, oh my god, it doesn't matter if I just put this in instead of this, or like I start to lose interest, which is not very good. So if you're trying to employ me, do not watch this video, because the pressure of being in a job will make me do things properly, don't worry. Because it's just like, I don't know, it's like not novelty, but like pressure and demand and stuff, like, but it's consequential instead. Like, I don't know, there's something that happens if I'm doing something for other people, then I'm more likely to do it properly. Okay, yeah, so have trouble keeping focused on long long conversations, reading a book or watching a film. But this also could be the case with like not driving, but like when I'm listening to the same music or something. So I've also written here, Nathan notices that I struggle to keep interested when he's talking to me. Not just when he's talking to me, like I am interested in what he's saying, but it like if we're talking about the future or something and it requires me to like think hard, it's because it's not like I haven't thought about these things. It's just like in that moment he'll be like, well, let's talk about, even just like, let's think about a meal plan for the next week. I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to do that. But I do want to and need to do that. I just really don't want to do that. So yeah, so if it's like gonna require more mental effort from me, yeah, so I put like future / work schedule. Yeah. So when I wrote all of these, I had to drive somewhere with no phone signal to be able to focus. Honestly, because my phone is a nightmare. Me and my phone have a toxic relationship. I'm addicted. I hate it, but I also love it, and it's nothing new in this day and age. But yeah, I had to basically minimize distractions. Like I drove to like a cliff, like a National Trust car park, and sat my ass down and did it. Because if I had left it to last minute, because I will go back over this, but yeah. Okay, I'm always getting distracted by overthinking / thoughts that are random, like worries or logistical issues. Like, how is that going to happen? Like, what's the logistics about that? Like, what what's going to happen if this and that and that and that, like what's going to happen next. Like I always think about the next step, which isn't always a bad thing when you need to do that for your job, for example. So like when I was a dental nurse, thinking about the next steps was essential to the job, and that's what made me a good dental nurse. Yeah, so I've also I try to keep a calendar of important things like on my phone, or else I'll like kind of forget. And yeah, I do that for a lot of things, and it has taken me like ages to do that. So yeah, I think because like I was just hating the fact that I was forgetting things, or like it wasn't organized and clear in my mind, it would cause me so much stress. And I was just like, I need to take some action now. So I did do that. And because like you do it little bits at a time, like, yeah, that is a good habit that I actually have done for myself. So pat on the back, me. Okay, now we're going to go into like the hyperactivity slash impulsivity side of the symptoms that I think I experience. So yeah, I'm always fidgeting, wiggling my toes, picking my skin, or my scalp, like my skin around my nails. I'll be biting that. I'll be picking that. I've got a dry patch there, and I just want to pick it off all the time, which is disgusting, but that's just what I want to do. And this mic now is helping me just like actually physically sit here, because it's like a fidget and also like comforting thing. I talk with my hands a lot, so yeah. So yeah, so I also like feel unsettled unless I have like some sort of, unless I'm like consuming something like food or phone, or sometimes if I'm feeling low as well, then it might turn to like having a few drinks in bed. And like it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not good for me. And I know that I'm not doing it for a good reason. I'm doing it for a bad reason, or an unsettled reason, to like feel less or whatever. I've lost the ability to read, I think. What's next? Oh yeah, along that unsettled feeling. So I do feel unsettled a lot, especially in the evening time, and I feel like I want to like scream, because like everything's shutting down around me, but my mind is not. My mind and body is not, and I'm like, oh my god, like there's no daylight left. I can't just go for a walk. Well, I don't. I could physically go for a walk, but I yeah, there's more obstacles in the way for me to be able to do that. Yeah, so I get really fidgety. I like, oh my god, and that's also when my mind might go spiraling even more, and then my mental health just takes a massive toll. Sometimes, most of the time, we end up going for a drive just to get some sort of stimulation, and like, yeah, and because it's like dark and you focus on it, it's quite meditative. I think that's the word. On other days I might just doom scroll and have my fix there, or I'll like shake my leg in bed just to like, I don't know what it is. Or sometimes, if I am really sad or just overwhelmed with the feeling that I've been having, I do end up having a cry, and we need to talk about things. And yeah, uh that's a hard one, to be honest. It's Yeah, I also, amongst all of this, I still have this like dissociative like experience, and I feel like I need to really like help that. Um it's really hard though, that dissociated experience, feeling, sensation, whatever you want to call it. I am not in the freaking building, like knock knock, who's there? No one. That it's really hard, and I do struggle with that quite a lot. I will hold my hand up and say, like, sometimes I literally do not help myself by doom scrolling or chasing the next like dopamine fix or whatever, but sitting in that feeling as well, which I do as well, but sitting in that feeling is so painful, that, you know, sometimes the easier way of just escaping that feeling is going on my phone or having a drink, consume something at that point. Hi, Billy. Hi, Billy. This is the bike. You could go. She's so cute. Lie down then. Aww. Cute. Okay, yeah. So the next point is I find it hard. Oh no, I can talk a lot. I can talk a lot. In case you didn't know, 35 minutes in. Yeah, no, I can talk a lot, especially in social situations, especially if I'm feeling nervous or I feel really comfortable with them, then I will talk a lot. I can also go the other way, especially if I'm overthinking. I have this theory that you know, the hyperactivity side of things, like if I feel like it's dependent on my mood how it like comes out. I feel like if I'm like okay and I'm in a social situation and I'm comfortable with the people around me, then I will talk more, express more, whatever. And then afterwards, when my brain is fried, and then I'm like, I need to process what has just happened. I don't know what has just happened. I felt like out of control of my what I was saying, my conversations. But then if I'm feeling like lower and, you know, more insecure or not comfortable around the people, then my overthinking will be my overthinking will be the hyperactivity, because it will just go, 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 go. And then I lose perception of how I'm being perceived or how I'm coming across, or just like, yeah, I don't know what happens there either. So that's difficult, because sometimes I want to be enjoying the moment with my friends or whatever, and if I'm low just generally anyway, and then I am overthinking everything, because they're not good overthinking thoughts, they're automatic negative thoughts. And yeah, and then I have to like debrief to Nathan, and I'm like, this happened, this is like blah blah blah. I need all the reassurance, like, tell me it's not true. I also find it hard to not interrupt people, especially when they're talking about something that I think might go, like, I'm almost 100% certain in my mind that I know the next things that they're going to say. I'll interrupt them and say, like, yeah, I know, blah, 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 or like finish their sentence for them, and not in a cute, like, oh my God, we finished each other's sandwiches. That's in a song, I think. That's from Frozen, I just realised. That's what I was gonna say. Anyway, just quickly on that, actually, I constantly do have like songs in my head, or like, you know, when there's a catchy like TikTok sound or something, that is like, oh, I don't know, it's just in my mind, and I'm just constantly saying it, and it's so annoying, and I don't even want to be saying it, but because it's catchy and they've got their science right with whatever they put into that, I annoy everyone around me. Okay, moving on. The next thing is that I feel quite impatient and yeah, waiting my turn or having to like not say anything when I really want to, or waiting for like things to happen, or life goals to unfold. Like I put so much pressure on myself as well to like live up to my potential, and if I'm not doing that, I think you've probably all heard this before. But yeah, I'm impatient, and it's not just me that notices that. Nathan notices that, and so does my family. Okay, another bit is um overspending on silly things when I'm already in debt. So that's a fun fact. I'm in a little bit of debt. Not loads and loads and loads and loads, so don't worry, but a little bit because of the fact that I don't work full time, and that's pretty much it. And last year for Christmas, I wanted to buy people Christmas presents, and I'm still in a little bit of debt from that. And, you know, I'm not too worried at the moment, but I have been. But I will overspend, or not. I say overspend like I shouldn't already be spending anything apart from necessities because I'm in debt. I should be paying it off. But so I just mean spending on silly things, basically. Just non-necessities. Sorry, Billy. Sorry, just let's take a sec. Oh, cuties. But yeah, I don't help myself either with this because I will go into Home Bargains or B&M and or the middle of Lidl or the, you know, the Aldi middle aisle and excuse me. It's okay, I'll let you off because you're so cute. They're so bored. I'll take them out later. You good girls. I will take them for a walk later. What was I saying? Oh yeah, shops. They know what they're doing there, don't they? And I fall right into the trap. So I guess that's not all my fault. Okay. Also, this is just a random one that I put, but like I pierced my ear because I was like really bored. And it's still not healed properly, and that was a couple of weeks ago. But that just might be plain old boredom. I think lots of people do shit like that. Okay, then I haven't finished. I've still got to like do some more, and yeah. So I've also put here, I struggle to know what to do with my time, but sometimes end up doing nothing. But then that makes it worse for me, and I feel like a failure and I'll never reach my potential. And I think for me personally, getting a diagnosis would help me look for more like official answers, I guess, or like, you know, I'll have more access to like ADHD specialist therapists, and if I choose to go down medication, which I'm thinking I'll try if I have it, but that's a long way off yet, and I'll update you as and when. But I'll just have a quick look of these notes and see if there's any more like hitting ones that I'm like forgetting, because I'm like in the swing of things, and there are probably symptoms that I've forgotten that are like really obvious, but you know, I've just read all of my notes out from that one. So let's have a look. I'm like always late, but I hate being late. So that's one that was on here from a while ago. Yeah, gets bored very easily by repetitive tasks. And it's like this, it's not like just a little boredom that like something small could just switch it up. It's like, I am completely done with this. um, I feel like I can't really get like a normal job, but I think that's just, I'm not sure if that's like totally relevant, but no, I do think it is relevant actually for me personally, because if I do have ADHD, then a normal sort of like 9 to 5 job I think would drive me insane. Because I also like have this like, because I it's like my schedule, my clock, my body clock is like energy, and if I have enough energy then I can do like more than one big things, energy draining things in a day. But if I don't, then it literally feels like someone is dragging me and forcing me to do that, and then I end up not giving it my all because I don't fucking want to. um yeah, I feel like I'm always searching for novelty. Oh yeah, Nathan's written a few things on this one actually that he's like observed. So he said Beth struggles to focus on anything that she's not personally interested in. Sounds so selfish. I'm really not. Not put anything not putting anything away after finish and just left on radiators, sides, tables, floor until further notice. Um, struggles Sometimes struggles to communicate in a way that people can understand. It makes sense in her head, but maybe not someone else's. I think this is a combo of dyslexia and ADHD. And he says that I need patient people around me. He's also said that I'm really fun and I have spontaneous ideas that can lead to new and exciting things, i.e., it was my idea to do the house sitting that we've done for the last past year. Holidays or experiences, like I'll see something and I'll just know that we need to do that. He said, I have a unique way of looking at things. The world is different through her eyes, and it allows for a very individual and creative ways of doing life. So I'm going to end this video now. Thank you so much for watching to the end. If you've made it this far, really appreciate it. Please don't forget to Please don't forget to subscribe if you're new or not subscribed yet, because I will be sharing my whole journey throughout the next couple of months, however long it takes, to go for the assessment for ADHD. I am going to be making a little bit more of an effort to record again on my channel. Yeah, so don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you can relate to anything or have some tips about how to do the right to choose process. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.